Hello, my name is Jennie Breeden. I'm the creator of the webcomic The Devil's Panties. Today is, I even looked it up, March 12th, 2015, and this is the live stream that I do for the Patreon. For the Patreon website, there's a group of patrons that can suggest anything for me to draw, and then I give them the high-resolution original digital file of whatever I draw on these videos. And so thank you for joining me. I will try to be entertaining. Please bear with me. Unfortunately, I have not developed the skill of being able to read and talk both at the same time. I can read out loud, but I can't talk about something and then also read the comments at the same time. So every once in a while, I'm going to stare into the screen with my mouth partially open, reading in silence, and then I will answer questions like the last half of a sentence or the one half of a conversation. I'm going to try to say the comment out loud, and so for anybody watching these videos later on, it won't be one half of a conversation. So I think we've got some people in, so it's on YouTube. Pause this, I don't need to watch myself. I do, but that's a whole nother issue. So this is on YouTube. You can make comments in the YouTube section. You can also have comments on Twitter if you do @Jennie Breeden, JennieBreeden, and I'm actually reading it off of the screen of YouTube because I am that kind of special ed. So you can do questions with Twitter with @me or @DevilsPanties. And I'm also trying to keep an eye on Facebook as well. So we have a plethora of ways that you can yell at me. I'm not going to say that I'm going to hear it. Kind of in a alternate reality where you can hear the comments that come out. If I could have some headphones and then hear, I think the computer can read them to you. Of course, that could be a very, very bad idea. Things could go poorly. And Laura is here. Laura was like, yeah, I'm going to listen to you while I draw. And I'm like, pressure or anything. I'm going to try to be entertaining. Sometimes I try to be more entertaining than actually paying attention to the drawing, which is why I haven't finished last month's drawing. So there's that too. And I'm going to consciously try to pay attention to my ums and my uhs, cut them out. I also have somebody who keeps going onto YouTube and downvoting the videos, but they don't say why they downvote them, and so I just have the one person, and I don't know if they just don't like me or they're like, well, this is boring, which I get that. My brother actually came up to me one day and he said, you know, I don't really like your comic. I don't identify with it, and I'm fine with that because it's a niche market. It's very few people that are like, yes, I identify with that. So no, the comic isn't for my brother exactly. And then he came back a year later and he was like, yeah, I don't like it, but it updates every day, and so I find myself reading it every day because something is new every day that's there. So yeah, I'm not too offended by people who are like, I didn't really like it. They're not saying that I suck, they're saying that it wasn't their cup of tea. I see previews to horror movies that I'm like, wow, that looks like an amazing movie that is horrifying, and I don't want to see it because it's going to scare the pants off me. I don't want to. I don't enjoy that. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, I got on a tangent. Let's see if I can catch up with the, I probably can easily catch up with the comment section. You guys are awesome that you're here. I'm going to have to schedule this later because originally I scheduled it in the evening so that I could figure out the lighting. And the sun is up. And so the lighting's going to change towards the end of this. So should I do this later on in the day? Like, because I'm East Coast, well, I'm West Coast now. I was East Coast, I'm West Coast now. So it's like 9 o'clock for you guys. And it's a school night, so I think it's Thursday, right? I don't know what day it is. It just gets louder on the weekend. That's the only way I know that there's a weekend. Okay, let's see. We could deal with Jennie not being herself. When am I not myself? It actually worked. I should actually tell. Did it work? I think it worked. Let's see. Tick, tick, tick. Lol, just be yourself, Jenny. You will do awesomely. Oh, then, you know, afterwards I sit there and lay awake at night going, I shouldn't have said that. That was not. Oh. And I'll go through the comment section and go, crap, it's somebody there that I didn't say hi to. It's March 13th. Waves from over the date line. Celtic Knot is awesome. Going through time. Something to watch while I assemble my IKEA furniture. Edward, you sick bastard. I am so sorry. I get it kind of put together, but then I don't twist them to get them all completely latched in there. And then Obi was like, no, we have to go back and redo everything. And I almost killed him with a blunt object that might have been a piece of a shelving. Anyway, good luck, Edward. Our hearts are with you. Not our hands, because that shit's hard. Let's see. Lar. Always be yourself unless you can be Batman, in which case be Batman, but he's got issues. I think I would rather be someone a little bit, like, somebody who's figured it out. Maybe, well, Harley's in a bad relationship. I would rather be Catwoman. She seems to have her shit together. Or at least the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. No, she's also fucked. I don't know who I'd be. Why not talk of furries? Wait, what was that? Cerberus. Why not talk of furries? I've got stories. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat room. Wow, you're covering all the social media. I know. I went a little bit nuts. I was like, I don't know if people who, because I've got Facebook Devil's Panties and Facebook Jennie Breeden and Twitter Devil's Panties and Twitter Jennie Breeden, and then people are like, you should have a separate personal Facebook page and a personal email. And I commiserate with Mrs. Clanton with her whole, I don't want to keep that shit separate. I just want one mailbox. Although I do think she had some nefarious, I don't think that's all above board. Anyway, I just dip in and out of the chat room. Good on you. Okay, awesome, Lar. Oh yeah, I envy Lar being able to, he glances over to his chat thing and then he continues drawing, and I should actually start drawing at some point and babble and read. I wanted to catch up first, which I need to get my ass in gear, and so, sorry, foul language. So gloriously, no, wasn't there cup of tea? Oh, I thought that was a British thing. I'm Southern. God, I'm Southern. Family's in Virginia, and that is freaking Southern because all of the we're South and you're North happened in Virginia. So when people are like, "What? Virginia's the North?" We had all of the battles, and well, not all of the battles anyway. And then 10 years in Georgia, which I think makes you really Southern. Not quite Alabama, but you know, we're still crazy. Only with the lights on computer. Okay, cup of tea. It keeps jumping me down to the bottom. I like it because it is a very fun, loving comic. I try to be nice. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm mean. But, you know, sometimes people are stupid. CC only with the lights on completely and someone is home. I don't always have the lights on completely. Now is a good time. Honestly, I shouldn't be sitting here reading these out loud. Although then there's also sitting here in silence. Celtic Knot says that they're not the person to ask if I should do this later on, because I think later on for Celtic Knot is early in the morning. You probably don't want that, but also East Coast have to work. I feel like 6 West Coast, 9 East Coast. Do we like that time period? I think it's okay. Casey, crochet hook, stab. Well, no, it's the hooks are more stab and then pull out bits of the innards. IKEA is evil? Yes. Yes, it is evil. I mean, it's pretty awesome, but it's kind of evil. Okay, Casey, I should know you. I should know you. I want to click on click on this because Casey was like, yeah, I miss you, and I'm like, I should know you, Casey. You know my brain. I can't. I've had like cousins that I'm like, where do I know you from? We're related, and special. It's not you, it's me. Um, Ramblin' Rex says Panties isn't national security. Isn't the emails, and you do have to. Yeah, now you do have to watch out for yourself because identity theft and people taking credit cards and people taking, just breaking into the corporations and stuff. So I do need to back up everything and put it on something that isn't plugged in. And then I need to go delete some pictures I've been meaning to delete for a while because they exist. So anyway, Cerberus, yeah, actually he said, my God, you're white bread. Yeah, we did a genetic testing because my mom was hoping for some sort of just little mix the pot a little bit, but no, we're as white as they get. Sorry. We're working on alleviating some of that. It's the inbreeding. South of Mason-Dixon line. I don't know where the Mason-Dixon is. I'm bad. Dang, it keeps jumping to the bottom. Okay, and then I lose my place. Are we doing the drinking game of every time I say because I think some people are probably going to be unconscious soon. I should start drawing. Buffering. Why is buffering? MD has Baltimore. Yeah. Obi's a little. Baltimore is exciting. Baltimore is very exciting. It has character. It has piles of characters. My sister lives in Baltimore. What you talking about? Just to reload. Hope I'm not. Okay, I will try not to be funny, Toxic Comics, but you probably already reloaded. Oh, Celtic Knot said that until they become a Patreon, they have no right to say anything about timing. It's true. You have every right. This is the internet. Everybody has a right to say whatever they want. Apparently, most people are okay. It's just the trolls are so loud. Talking about Baltimore. What the hell, con? Oh, yes, Casey. What the hell, con? Yes, you guys are awesome. I love What the hell, con. I can't go again because it's really far away, and it was a fun 4-hour trip. Not so much 8-hour plane ride. You guys are fun, but you did Dragon Con. I'll do 8 hours for, but college conventions are fun. But I've really only got one across the country trip in me, and I saved that for Dragon Con and the beach trip with my family, Christmas. We won't get into semantics. I wonder if I bought you. That was, man, What the hell, con was fantastic. Okay. Okay, I've almost caught, dang it, somebody said something. It just started playing from the beginning. Oh, comics, you're gonna be disjointed. Yeah, Rambling Rex said it's not as critical for me to keep my work and personal separate. Some of my friends would like me to have a personal, and I did set up a personal, and then I never checked it, so that defeated the purpose. Okay, well, Montana's a whole nother experience. I don't know if I might have been to Montana. I don't remember. Oh, Casey work, no. Obi's probably still here. Comics. Tommy Comics. Tomix Comics? Gracious. Okay. I'm going to switch the screen over to here. I shouldn't because I'm still reading. Stop being interesting. Oh, navigator here. Rambling Wreck mentioned the harbor in Baltimore. Boston, Baltimore. I get Baltimore and Boston mixed up. And yeah, it's special. It's awesome. You got friggin' boats, and then your aquarium is fantastic, and the waterfall thingy, and the people are special. And you know, again, I've been going for like I had a friend who lived in Baltimore, Boston. She moved to Boston, and that's why I get Baltimore and Boston mixed up. And so we would go childhood. So I kind of, you know, once every other year lived in Baltimore. God, my brain worm. Celtic Knot, yeah. Terry Pratchett died. That's not sad. Okay. Wow, I think there's a lot. Well, there's 23 people in here. Okay. I will leave, hopefully, Obi to entertain you. Take a drink. So if you have a question for me, how about in the YouTube, do it in all caps, and so I can tell that it's a question for me. I think Broadcasting Summer said, "Where did you go to school?" And I think that's me. I don't know if it's for me or not. And do you have a Dozer shirt on? Yes, I do. You're right. I can't see myself. Switch so I can see me. This is. I need like a dark colored shirt. Babies. Because whenever I wear the lighter color shirts, I'm very, very white. I'm very white. Okay. Moving along. Okay, I'm gonna switch view. Switching view. There we go. Server's dense for us. Yeah. I think Obi's here somewhere. He should be. Okay. I can't remember where I got Dozer. I feel like it's threadless. Hold on, I can see this. Okay, let me get distracted again. We actually won't, you know, start this. It's been 17 minutes. I'm not that bad. Wait, I think you can. Oh, this is not a good idea. Dang it. It's threadless, I think. Okay, back to that. Let's do that. This is the thing that we'll do. Let's put this over here. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking at... Oh, come on, where did the chat go? There we go. Put the chat there. I'll put the... There we go. Got the chat here, got the Hootsuite. I'm using Hootsuite. This over here, I don't think anybody said anything. 2 likes. Likes are not comments. I don't need 2. Oh, my Maneki Nico says that the chat doesn't work for them. Or the chat? Or the live? Because the live chat won't work. Oh, okay, well, hopefully you're able to see the video. So, hi, my Maniko, Nico. I hope I'm saying that right. Yes, and watch it on my phone at the same time. Oh, okay, well, you gotta. Yeah, I tried doing the. Oh my God, powers came out. Okay, I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna talk about powers. Oh, Lar said, well, I guess I could just keep listening to this crime drama on YouTube. I'm addicted to audiobooks. I'm listening at the moment to The Woman Who Dies a Lot, which is, I want to say, the last of the Thursday Next books. And then I post on Twitter, I also have one of the Patricia Briggs books, which I got to go to the signing, and I couldn't bring myself to buy the hardbound. I'm sorry, Patricia Briggs. She's awesome. She's fantastic. Oh, so I'm cheating. Let me real quick about this, and then remind me to talk about where did I go to school. Thank you. Broadcasting Sunny has asked the question, so in the comment section, all in caps, so I can glance over and see it. how do you listen to them, buy them? Audiobooks, Audibles is Amazon, so it's a little evil. Because you can download them to your computer, but it's harder to download, like listen to them in the car. They restrict, and you can't like burn them to a CD if you want to listen to them in a car or anything. So Amazon's a little evil, but I subscribed to Audibles, and I pay $15 a month, and I get a credit each month, and then I use that credit to buy the books, and each book is usually about $25, but you can either use a credit or they give you discounts if you're a member. So I've been spending probably about $20 or $30 a month on audiobooks, but gracious, I get to the end of my productivity and I turn on an audiobook and then I spend another 4 hours working, and that's inking. Okay, so I went to school. I went to, let's start from the beginning. I was Montessori school, and then Rose Hill, and then Kale, because Rose Hill was too crowded, and my 3rd grade was in a trailer. Or 4th grade. 4th grade was in a trailer, and then I was the first group of students to graduate from Kale, which was 5th grade, elementary school, and then my baby sister was the first one to go all the way through Kale. And then Western Albemarle High School, and then wow, you could do all of the security questions for that's the thing about having having a autobiographical webcomic. It makes it very difficult to choose security questions because you can find out most of the security questions. So I have very interesting security questions, and then I avoid doing comics about my first pet or my mom's maiden name. And then I went to Savannah College of Art and Design. And in SCAD, I went in right after high school, so that was in 1998 was when I showed up and did 4 years and majored in sequential art. And when I was, can I see what you are drawing with on the screen? Yes. Okay. Okay, sorry, my brain just short-circuited because I read questions. Okay, wait, I was about to say Savannah College of Art and Design, majored in sequential art, and then I'm going to show this thingy. And when I first got there, the sequential department was one room. The offices. Ooh, her hair is much nicer than this. The sequential department offices was in the basement of the main building, and we had no official classrooms. And then about my 3rd year, they let us share the building with the illustration department. And so we'd look at the illustration students and go, you guys aren't real artists. And they'd look at the comic book department and go, you guys aren't real artists. And I kind of wish I took some illustration classes because design, oh crap, like book covers and the merchandising and the marketing and anyway. So then I heard that by the time I left, when I finished, they had, did we have our own building? I think we had our own building by the last year, that there was a sequential building. And I heard from somebody who's still going to SCAD that there is a webcomic class, which they didn't have because webcomics kind of started in, I started this in 2001, and that was my 3rd year of college. 98, 99, 1. Yeah, 2nd or 3rd year of college was when I started the Devil's Panties. And there was a couple of hundred comics, webcomics, which I think all but maybe 10 of them are still posting. Okay, maybe like 40, 50. I have no idea. I didn't count them. I kind of wish I had. Okay, so let me do a quick what I'm using. Let me give you a bigger screen. Okay, so Broadcasting Sunny said, can I see what you are drawing on the screen? So Obi got me, he actually got me a much bigger one, but we downsized because I wasn't using all of it. This is a Wacom tablet. You can actually see where there's all these scratches in this area that's all buffed out because that's the area that I actually use. This is the medium size. There is a much bigger size, but on the much bigger size, I was still only using that, the paper size pretty much. And you can get tons of different, you need a pen for it, and it comes with a lot of different tips that you can switch out with the pen. So you can use like a felt tip, or a sharper, a harder tip. Penis! More penis-like tip. Oh my god, oh my god. So that's what I use. There is the ones that you draw on the screen. SCAD has like 12 of those, and I went into the room because I got to go in for the alumni thingy. And I was like, will they notice if they're missing one? Yes, they will. So that's, and then I use Photoshop to set up my panels and the text, and then I switch it, and then I move it all into Manga Studios. Manga Studios, every time that I use my text, it messes up the spacing, and I have to go in and change the spacing every time. Whereas somehow Photoshop seems to save that, the spacing for the next line every time I use a new line. Manga Studio wants to make it too far apart. Sorry, got distracted. Focus. So I use Photoshop to set up the text, and then I open it up into Manga Studios to do the inking. And Manga Studios, which Laura showed me how to do the perspective, and I really need to be doing that more often. I need to try more. So yes, if you have any other questions on YouTube chat, if you post them all in caps, I will know that it's a question for me. Broadcasting Sunny also questioned your hand. Sorry, I have so many questions. Okay, you're gonna have to ask the hand thing over. Can I see what you're drawing on the screen? Okay, I did that one. How do you listen to them? I think I answered that one. Where did you go to school? So I was messing with that one. Okay, cool. Oh, and then I'm gonna have to go back and, oh, can I go back and read? Yeah, I can go back and read the comments. Laura's talking to people, which is awesome. But Laura has to go back to work. Oh, Laura's talking about majors for comics, and Laura took illustration. Yeah, I mean, take everything, because there was also a publishing class that I knew I should have taken, but I was working too hard trying to figure out how to draw proportions. So I mean, Cerberus, do you like tacos? I like tacos. I make white girl burritos, which is a tortilla and some black beans and some cheese with some hot sauce on it. Texas Pete, ideally. I'm getting a little... I haven't had dinner yet. I meant what you were drawing with your hand, clarifying. You answered it. Okay, cool. I answered it. We're good. Let me double check on Twitter and Facebook to make sure I got my Maneki Nico commented. Okay, so she's able to watch. I'm assuming she. I don't know. The icon is ambiguous. She, he, they, whatever you identify as. Unicorn. Could identify as a unicorn. Oh my god, they're a little bit of a dick though. The whole virgin thing, I feel like that's a little stuck up. Oh, my neck in knee. That's really awesome. Going back. Going back. Comments. We're good. Okay. Yay, questions. Because silence scares me. Prime rib tacos. No, I don't think I had prime rib tacos. I like the limey. Racist. Lime in my tacos. So racist. I should save this. Okay. Save. Her hair is longer. Man. My baby sister Summer is so pretty and so trendy, and the thing about drawing trendy is that you gotta figure out what's trendy to draw it, and it's so trendy. And so I just give her like this mullety thing, which is not. She came to Portland, she was like, I wanna go to get my hair done, but I want a Portland haircut. And I said, I think that's like shaved at the bottom or on one side or something. She was like, all right, that's a little further than I'm willing to go. So she got this kind of layered thingy. My lady hooked her up. I go to, where do I go? Oh my God, I love my lady. Surge? Dang. Can't remember. My hairdresser. She specializes in curly and she's showing me things. Do I like her? I love curly. What do you, when you run out of ideas? I haven't yet. Why are we all yelling? We're yelling because I'm able to read. If I glance up and I see all of these questions, there are conversations. I see all the conversations on YouTube comments, and I don't know if they're questions for me or just conversations. You see, as a limey, I don't consider limey an insult. Okay, good. I've got a get out of jail free card. No more than calling American a Yank. You know, Yank is okay. I think I had, what was it? There was one of them that was, the Yankees, I want to say, are the Northerners. Damn Yankees. And I saw a guy in Pittsburgh that had a T-shirt that was damn, kill the Yankees or get the Yankees, and I was like, that's everybody here, right? Apparently, it was a sports thing. Letting me type this all in caps. So okay, how do you decide where to draw the line between exactly what happened and embellishing for the sake of the comics? Good question. Because, okay, so that's coming up. Oh, Damn Yankees are a band. That's awesome. So drawing the line, because so there's a, is the disagreement, battle, discussion. There's a discussion going on about what I've found with doing the comic is that when I do those little one-shot, Obi and I, just random, standalone, doesn't have to do with anything, just commentary on the sidewalk, walking down the sidewalk thing. Those are awesome. People love those. But whenever I try to do what I'm making now, which is like a storyline, something, this is the adventure, Christmas, or the adventure that I've been on, those are crap. They're not as entertaining. Even though a lot of Obi and my conversations are as they happened. So I adjust some stuff about, okay, well, I'm trying to tell the story of how, this thing happened for Christmas, and how do I get the reader to this location? I really have to stop telling these stories. This comic is, my sister's coming to visit, and here's my sister coming to visit. And it's not as entertaining as the little one-shots. So I don't know, I'm starting to, where do I draw the line? So I draw the line if I'm endangering somebody. If somebody, I have changed names, I have changed characters. I've had friends say, you can't use this, or I'd rather you didn't have me do this. The comic about the lady saying, and that's when I found out I could lick my own nipple, that is a friend of mine who said that. In the comic, it's some random lady walking by. And she asked that she not be the one that said it, and so I didn't even put her in the comic. And so I do have, and I'm starting to make friends here, and some of them have jobs that are, you know, very corporate, and they would get in trouble if I did comics about some of our adventures. So I'm not going to be using their names or their likenesses. I've got a couple of comics coming up later on where I get to make up characters. I haven't done this before, really, because the people who I did this with will get in trouble. So yeah, I change names, I change people, I change who said what. Sometimes I change where they said it. Sometimes something funny will happen at DragonCon, and I'm like, well, I've already finished the DragonCon arc, and so I'll change where it had happened. Obi has gotten me better about going away from how it happened to what's funny. And I'm kicking and screaming. I'm like, but this is what was actually said. And he's like, yeah, but it's funnier if it's this other thing. So, I mean, we just had the comic about gluten-free, and he goes up to the guy and says, well, I have a recording that we're going to post on Patreon and on Bonus Booty. I have the recording of the conversation of my friends going, oh my god, I can't stand, you know, the people who aren't allergic. There are actual, you have allergies to gluten, that is an actual medical thing. And then there's some people who are like, well, I need this because I've decided that I'm on this diet. So we had some friends who were like, you know, I have an allergy to idiots. So we got on the whole conversation. So I'll change it for storytelling purposes, especially storytelling purposes, because I have 4 panels. I have 4 panels to get. I use the example of my brother. I did a comic of my brothers chasing each other around the backyard, and one of them runs into a tree and knocks himself out. And my older brother says, if he dies, Mom's going to kill me. Well, what actually happened was that they were in Jamaica, and they were 15, and my younger of the two, gets hit by a bus, flies 4 feet through the air, and my older brother goes, well, if he dies, Mom's going to kill me. I didn't put in the comic that they were in Jamaica and that they were 15, and there was all of these other factors which make for a great story, but I can't really fit it into, this 10-month-old does not have that much hair. This is not accurate. Okay, I'm missing out on some of the questions. I reenact the American Civil War, wear the gray myself. Gray is Southern, right? I went to Stone Mountain with some friends from England, and we watched the video. On Stone Mountain, there's a giant carving of the Confederate soldiers. Confederates the South, right? And I was sitting there the first time I saw it. I was like, they know he lost, right? It's like General Lee or something. Why did you decide to move to Washington? Oregon. Storylines. Oh, thank you, Cerberus. So yeah, Cerberus. So friends from England come and we watch this video, and they use, the thing about the movie at Stone Mountain is that they always they're like, and the South almost won, but then there was that spy, that damn Yankee that came through, and they would have, I'm like, no, they wouldn't have almost won. I don't know, maybe they do. I don't know the history well enough to say that with authority. So at one point they're using a lot of different terms, North and South, and Yankee and Confederate, and they used a couple more terms, and my friends from England were like, wait, which one is that, North-South? Which one is that? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm really bad with names and dates. Okay, storylines. Awesome. Oh, why did I decide to move to Washington? Portland, Oregon. So we knew we needed to move because of all of the break-ins, and we figured if we're going to move anyway, we might as well, we can move anywhere. We don't have to move somewhere else in Georgia or in Atlanta. We can move anywhere. And so we start looking around the country. We both like Seattle, but there's a lot of crime and it was really expensive. And we came to Seattle for Emerald City, and we visited a friend of Obi's in Portland. And we were like, this is gorgeous. There's moss everywhere. There's llamas in minivans. There's a Prius with the license plate Prius. There's donuts. I had the Blue Star donuts and went, we should move here. So we visited, and then Obi looked at the statistics. He looked at the taxes. He looked at the government. He looked at the policies. He looked at, this kid does not wear shoes ever. He looked, and then the crime reports. We were mostly looking for somewhere in the country that we wouldn't get robbed again. I mean, you're going to get robbed anywhere you go, but we'd like the statistics to be on our side, maybe. Hedge our bets. So Portland had some really good, the crime, it had a low enough crime, as long as, you didn't leave your bike out. Stealing the bikes. And then it has a huge artist community. It has Periscope Studios, Erica Moan, and it has Dylan, and it has, it just has all of these artists, and it has double clicks, awesome. And I went and visited Seattle last week, and I was like, I'm actually really glad that we moved to Portland, because Portland's awesome. It's very, it's hipster, but it's so very, like, art car, do stuff in the middle of the street. Everyone's really chill and laid back. I like it a lot. Personally, as a huge autobio comic fan, I need to find, Girls with Slingshots is finishing, and so I need to find some more journal comics and stuff, and Dara's not there. I need to go look up Today Nothing Happened. That one was really good. I need to go find that. Maybe it's still going. Decided to move. Okay, did that one. Civil War Gray. There's a really good Key and Peele skit about Southern reenactors. I'm racist. I want to act as counterweight to Obi and push you towards what actually happened. I always hate it when I can't tell if a comic is exact or not. So in the back of all of I should keep drawing while I do this. I'm only one panel in. In the back of all of the books, I've put notes, because people have said how much of this is real and how much of it is made up. And so we call it Cliff Notes, in the back of the book, where I go through and I'm like, okay, so this comic, this thing happened, but I changed this part. I need a new, so it's the conversation actually happened, or I'm trying to think of a specific example. The Slow Loris was that one was I've gotten like a week's buffer, and so I don't remember which comics have posted or not. And what's killing me with some of these comics that are coming up is that the funny part was us about to do the thing, and now I can't think of, like we go to a strip club, but then nothing funny happened at the strip club, and I'm like, I have all this build-up of all these comics about, we're gonna go to a strip club, and then I guess it's the third strip club I've been to? I don't know, I'm gonna have to go check the comics. Okay. Questions. How often do you need to repaint the embellishments on your car? I need to redo that. Obi, you're bad. So I started it off as green, and then a friend wanted me to paint her trailer. And because it's somebody else's work, somebody else's property, I went back and looked at actual references and stuff, and I was like, oh, usually octopi are like red. The big octopus is usually red. So I went back on my car and touched and repainted it red. Now it's kind of a dull metallic reddish pink. I need to go touch it up. I want to repaint it. I want to paint all of it blue. Usually, I don't know. Depends. My mom hasn't retouched hers. I don't know if she has. She's got flowers all along the bottom edge of hers. Today Nothing Happened ended. I can send you some of mine though. Yes, please. email or Facebook or Twitter. I need to go. There's just so many awesome comics, and I know I should read a ton of them, but the archives, Pot Kettle Black, archives are so huge. I'm like, I don't have the time. So I'm, yeah, an idiot. Hypocrite. If you need a really good autobio comic, try Bullet Corpse Comic. Cool. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Okay, almost 2 a.m. here. Gotta get to bed. Good night, Celtic Knot. We'll probably see you next month. I'll post another time for when we're gonna do this again. So yeah, I will not be pushing the time back for the change of light or whatever. Because yeah, it gets very late at night, and we are not all night owls. We'd like to be, but the way our society and working for goods and services exchange works out doesn't really lend itself to making your own hours. Unless you've decided that you can live without health insurance and be self-employed. My mommy pays for my health insurance. She's awesome. Okay, so then, he's a French artist. You know how amazing those guys are. Oh, the French are, I read the Blue Notebook, and that was just a little weird. I mean, back when you had to import that kind of stuff. There was one of them that I need to find again. Yeah, no, I've got a ton of them that I'll read like once a month. And I'll binge. I can never, when drawing walking, I can't seem to get the proportions right. One leg is slightly bigger than the other. Also, if you want a printed comic, True Story, Swear to God by Tom Bellin. I feel like I read that one. There's also like Real Life. I feel like it's True Story, maybe that's normal. Man, I'm gonna be in trouble when I go. I haven't been to the comic shop since we moved, and that was September. I'm just gonna go a little nuts. I need to make it over. We're in Portland, and so we need to go to the comic shop that is awesome. We actually had dinner with some of the people that work there. It's fantastic, and I can't remember what it's called because my brain. I need a more delicate. I'm being a little heavy-handed with this brush. I took a comics inking class, and we learned dip nib and an actual brush with a pot of ink and microns. Those are the 3 different styles. And a brush was very difficult to control. I loved dip nib. That was most of the first, up until I got this Wacom. I was using the dip nib. Loved it. I think it does change my style. And I need to be more delicate because these lines are all uniform, and I want a varied line. I consider that purdy. Have been bugging the hubby to get his webcomic rolling. Oh, good luck. It will never be ready. Because he's probably sitting there going, well, it's not ready yet. It's never going to be ready. My stuff isn't ready either. None of it. I'm trying to get Obi to realize it's never going to be finished. I don't know how to draw babies. And don't dwell because, there was a comic last week that I thought was amazing and nobody cared. And then I post a comic that I think is pandering or meh, or, I thought some of them were a little preachy and people loved them. And I was like, okay, I guess I should be meaner. No, I shouldn't. So you're going to post a comic, if you have a web comic, you're going to post something and then angst whether or not people liked it. And then you're going to angst if they did or didn't. If they do like it, you're going to wonder why. And how do you do that again? Because you didn't do it on purpose. And if they don't like it, you're going to wonder why and what could you have changed, and just you're going to kill yourself with the what ifs. You can read the comments, just don't listen to them. 10-month-old, 10-month-old. I got to be in a double kicks video, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to be like, I was in this video. I'm going to give you guys a hint though. This is going to sound a lot worse than it is. I'm under a sheet. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Okay. I have been bugging the husband. Want to send you my comic, but I can't find your email. JennieBreeden@gmail.com. Or post it here. Get some advertising. You have my permission. JennieBreeden@gmail.com. Oh, it's not going to. Will it let me? Oh, I think it'll let me. Did that work? I think it worked. You guys are going to be able to save, be able to figure out what the lag is on that. Cool. I'm going to show off a little bit. This is our front yard at my mom's place. That's, we call that Mother Mary with bread loaf because it looks like she's holding a bread loaf. I don't think that dog's around anymore. I haven't been back in a while. It's very deep. I didn't get the whole... Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. I feel like I only half answered some of those questions. Let's see. College. I'm a little frustrated because I did an interview with O and Dern from Scallywags, and O was like, oh yeah, you know, it's when you flip the piece of art over halfway through when you're doing it to get a new perspective on it, and because this is such and such technique. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. My school didn't teach me crap. They probably did, I just wasn't paying attention. I was still trying to figure out proportions. That is not a foot. There was an entire class in the sequential art department that was head, hands, and feet. We had this one professor, I can't remember what his name is, but man, we ran him over. He showed up my third year of college, and he actually took classes that I was in. So some of the classes he was a student, and some of the classes he was the professor, and my God, he threw off the curve of the homework assignments because he'd come in with these amazing pieces. There's a point to this story. Oh, so yeah, he was the one who hosted or offered Head, Hands, and Feet. He was amazing for our intro to comics class. He gave us a miniature, you know, we rented this like 2 foot, 3 foot skeleton, and then every day we'd go in and he'd teach us a new muscle system, and we'd put with clay that muscle system onto one half of the skeleton, and then the next day we'd go over that muscle system the next one. So by the end of the class we could freehand the entire muscular structure, and it was awesome. That is not Jim's nose. I should look at a picture of Jim, but I'm not. But man, we ran this guy over because whenever he'd be like, hey, in a week I would like you to bring in 3 pages, and we were like, no, that's too much, and he was like, fine, 2 pages, and we're like, no, that's too much. We kept whining until he'd like bring it down to like 1 page was due. We wore him down, and I feel bad because he was an awesome professor, but we were whiny children. Okay. Does Obi have cheese? I think he has cheese. I heard a toaster. Snowbutt. Tell hubby never read the comments. I don't know. Don't read the comments on YouTube. That's a bad idea. Obi cheese. I think it's not letting me post the line to the comic dot. Hang on. Yep, doesn't let me. Oh, do like the comic and then say dot. Oh, Hootsuite, don't go to sleep. I'm still using you. Honest. Yeah, I don't. Nothing's happened. Okay. I think like oh no, come on, be with me. Nope, don't. There we go. Oh damn. Comments can't contain links. That wasn't a link. I said thedevilspanties.com. Please put the link in your video description and refer. Dang it. You're right. That sucks. How did it know? Maybe. And then a dot. No? Yes. Okay. You got to be a little tricky. All right. Hope that helps. Working. This is why, see, I have another comic that I was going to draw tonight, but it has a fire engine in it, and so I was not going to try to draw that live because we would never finish. So I'm being a little sloppy. His shirt has a gear on it, and it's a specific kind of gear. And I should probably look it up because I don't think I have it right. I've drawn it before, but I can't remember if the bit is on the inside or the outside. And it's a little in-joke because it's a gear that has to do with a specific kind of gun, I think. Jim made my husband into redneck because he now likes to fish and go hunting. I think I heard him sigh from the other room. I think because that... Okay, I'm going to save that until later. But Jim is awesome because when he goes hunting, he eats what he kills. He makes beef jerky. He makes jerky, deer jerky, which is awesome. You know, I'm all for... Meat is awesome, and it is expensive. And you should not be able to go out and kill something unless you're going to eat it. It is a lot of work, and more power to you. And I don't mean like I'm going to take this piece. I mean, you gotta use it. I like cheese. But that's not my autobio comic. My autobio comic is printed. I'll send you some of the files for it though. Okay, cool. Oh, sorry. Okay. Save. And then he also walks around with his kid upside down, which is just adorable. The peanut is neither a pea nor a nut. Discuss. Saturday Night Live had its big anniversary thingy, and it went through and showed a lot of the older skits. And I was sitting there on the couch with Obi, and I was like, I saw that one when it aired. I saw that one when it aired. I saw that one when... I watched Saturday Night Live all throughout high school because my friends would quote it. And any time that I missed an episode was an episode when something would happen where they'd have a character that would take off, and my friends would quote it all the time, and I'd be sitting there going, I don't know what you're talking about. So I have yet to see the skit where the guy goes, you like it a juice, huh? Juice is good, huh? I get you the juice. My friends quoted that constantly. That and the cheeseburger. I didn't see that one either. Cheeseburger. So the guy's ordering something, and the dude can't speak any English. All he knows is cheeseburger Coke. And that turned into synonymous with, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, okay, do you understand? Cheeseburger. And then there was a lot of quotes of such as mango, which again, I didn't actually see. can you say, hey, rainbow, stop being a rainbow? No, such as Mango. And yet I can't remember the difference between Confederate and Yankee. My brain is ridiculous. Dick in a Box. I know of Dick in the Box. I think I saw like one. They did like 3 of them, I feel like. Golly, Obi's hair is just being a little weird. I saw the Got Laid one and the Threw It on the Ground. But the ones that I quote a lot, I love, they did a fake commercial for Red Flag, which was a fragrance, and it was amazing because it was that lady that we all know. She's funny, but not ha-ha funny. She has a lot of male friends. When asked what she does, she says, I'm a dancer. Red Flag. It's lovely. They got a couple of good ones. They got a lot of bad ones, but they got a couple of good ones. Always hair being a little weird. Yeah, that happens at a certain age. Well, he slicks it down, so he doesn't, his scalp isn't fluffy. The rest of his hair is fluffy. So I gotta get this, the froze at the bottom is what it is. And this actually is not at all what Jim's hair looks like, but he is very blonde. So we're just gonna do that. Save. Edward, you are devious. Getting the YouTube put.com here. Watch cheeseburger skit. Obi says, my beard isn't fluffy, it is robust. He has trimmed it down. I took a picture because there was a, when we moved, I think he stopped trimming his beard about when we moved, and then no shave November, September, October, November. I think he had like a couple of months of growth. He was so bushy. It was like out to here. It was amazing. And I had to take a picture because it just, I was like, we can't get on a plane with you looking like that because racism. I don't know. I think if you look scruffy, if you're scruffy looking, yeah, you know, I don't know. Them clean cut boys. Something to be said. Although, who was it? There was a guy in the 60s who had a bus that he took around, and it was this giant revolution because it was like the start of tie-dye and shit. And they talked about how they would wear like polo shirts and khakis and stuff, and nobody knew what to think of them because they were hippies, but they looked like clean-cut, blonde, white boys. Throw them for a loop. Conversations are happening. Oh, I have to keep trying. Oh, Crazy Al, how are you? I hope you're doing good. What's with the glove? I don't... Crazy Al, you're awesome. I had a guy at a convention who came up and he was like, I have to know, 3 years ago I came up to you at a convention and you scowled at me and I don't know what I did to make you angry. I was like, no, that's my thinking face. There's so many people who think that I'm pissed off at them and I'm not. It's just when I'm thinking really hard, I scowl, which apparently some people were like, why do you hate me? And I'm like, no. Thinking. We have a friend who's a little upset with Obi because Obi has arms like he works out, but he doesn't work out. And I have a friend who works out constantly, and he's a little miffed that Obi doesn't. It's not that he doesn't have to. Every once in a while, Obi's like, man, I'm losing some of the definition from back when I worked out like 10 years ago. You could go again. You could. Oh, I'd rather be happy. I tried for about a month to go to the gym, and then I realized how much work that those bodies take to upkeep, and I went, nope, not willing to. But I did have a revelation about, if you spend that much, his toes are wrong. If you spend that much time and effort working on your body, hell yeah, wear a tube top. Wear whatever the hell you want to wear. If you have spent that much work on a six-pack, you get to show the six-pack off. I think you were totally allowed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Right number of toes. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's so tall, so small. Obi is not right next to me. He's in the other room, behind the door. Is Obi and Laura gonna have a feud? Is it a beard war? So I had a fake feud with Gravy Boy, that we did conventions together, and I think we were on a panel, and somebody was like, and my arch nemesis, and I was like, I want an arch nemesis, and the guys who did Gravy Boy were like, we'll be your arch nemesis. And so I have a couple of comics of Gravy Boy, and so after that, usually if you're sitting next to another vendor, you're like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, can you watch my stuff? And so Gravy Boy's like 3 or 4 guys, would start hiding their flyers in my books. Or they when I leave, they would start like putting some of their stuff, hiding it around the table. So at one point I was shilling a book. I was like, and this book is about, and I picked up a comic, not looking at it, not realizing I had picked up Gravy Boy and was trying to sell it. So yes, I had some arch nemesis, which one of them is a beautiful young lady who's going into a band, and I need to go see how that works. I think she got a guitar recently. I've been following her on Twitter, and she's going to be in a band, and I can't wait to see it because it's going to be awesome. So yes, thank you Twitter and Facebook for making it easier to stalk people. After parties, I go back and look for them so I can double check their names. This is harder drawing this side up. I can flip it. I can totally flip it. I should flip it. Okay. Save. Oh, congratulations on getting hitched. Arch nemesis are awesome. Partly because he refuses to, you banned him. Wait, what? Oh, I did. Banned him from Dragon Con. That's a vicious rumor. Yeah, it's hard to get into Dragon Con, and the Gravy Boy guys tried to get into Dragon Con, and they couldn't, and then they had trouble, and somebody was like, well, it's because it's the Devil's Panties convention, there's Dragon Con. So and then when I was talking to him, one of the guys who likes the comic, I hesitate to say fan because he's a buddy of mine. Razorjack is this giant red-headed man. He's been in the comics with the kilt and everything. And he came up behind him and was like, oh, this is Gravy Boy. And he lifted one of the guys up and threw him over his shoulder. So I have this story about how one of my fans assaulted Gravy Boy. Partly because he refuses to acknowledge me as his arch nemesis. His nemesis cheating on me. Ah. Beards are like Velcro. I have to catch up. What is Laura offering Obi? Beard genocide. Don't do it. Obi is not allowed to cut his beard off, or at least not in the comic, because he has luscious lips. And I don't think I can draw him with his luscious lips and still make him look male, because my art skills are not that good. Flip it. Yay! Manga Studios is pretty awesome. Okay. Actually drawing. Fill. And then I get to have food. I like food. Food's pretty neat. So, okay, well, how much is this story to tell? So I really like, I look at what I have in the fridge, and then I ask the internet. I'm like, hey, internet, how can I make this thing? I had one boiled egg from yesterday. I tried making a salad. The egg wasn't fully boiled when I started. It was an issue. And so I have one hard-boiled egg, and I was like, I want a deviled egg. And so I went online and I looked for how to make deviled egg, and I made a deviled egg. It was awesome. I might have to make more. I'm getting a little drooly. So I use the internet for my cookbook. And I was at Thanksgiving, and one of the male relatives was like, you should go in the kitchen, because then you can learn to cook from the women in the kitchen. I smiled and shook my head, but I was like, I have the internet. I'm good. But yeah, there are some things that you really do need another person to show you. And the internet, yeah, you can follow the directions, but sometimes you need that basic. How was it? My sister had mentioned there is an equation for how to make a meal. There's like the salty and savory, and I should learn. I should pay attention at least. But yay, internet. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make some. So I made deviled eggs with some really good mustard with the mustard seed, and mayonnaise and paprika. I feel like I should have like pickles and bacon, but we don't have bacon. I'm gonna go get bacon. It's been an hour. I was gonna go get bacon yesterday, and I was lazy. I'm very proud of this action shot. Okay. Put some texture in here. Take out the word balloon. I want to say Terry Moore of Strangers in Paradise was the first time that I saw this kind of panel break. And I really like it. So sometimes I intentionally put the letters close to figures, and so I can have the figure breaking the balloon pop. My poor computer doesn't like Wirecast. That's what I'm using to give me a little box in the side of the drawing. Oh, furries! Sorry, Cerberus. Cerberus. Oh, we mentioned Randy. I'm going to be next to Randy and Danielle for Emerald City, and that should be interesting. Loved your comic, by the way. Awesome, Cerberus. Okay, so again with the story time. They're totally that good. Deviled eggs? Yes. Okay. The other drinking game. Okay, or and. So I went to, let's see, hold on, let me make these. I don't want to draw on the word balloon layer. I want a line layer, so if I change my mind, I can go back and change it. Lines, do a new layer. I'm going to lock the ink layer. No, not the line layer. I'm going to lock the ink layer so I don't accidentally draw on that. Lines. Okay, unlock. Get a marker. like 2. I could go bigger. So for a couple of years of conventions, I got to hang out with Ursula, who does Digger, and she's awesome. And she does a lot because Digger is he's not a hamster, he's a badger. He's something about digging. Oh, so bad. It's won awards. But she draws really awesome animals and stuff, and so she would go to the furry conventions, and she kept raving about how awesome the furry conventions are, how wonderful the people are, how good the sales are. And so she talked me into going to Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh. It's the really big one. It's the one that everybody goes to, because when my sister was living there, I remember I went because I wanted to go visit my sister. I go to a lot of conventions because I want to visit people. I need to go to Boston again. So, take a drink. Deviled eggs. I get blamed for everything. Yes, Crazy Al. We blame you for this stuff because you're so much fun to blame, and it's the outfit. It's the costume that you wear. Crazy Al does this amazing devil with like all red skin and horns and this white suit. I don't know how he does a white suit with full body red paint, makeup paint. But that's why it's easier to blame him for stuff. So I go to, let's say, Pittsburgh for this giant furry convention where I keep hearing all these different accents because there's people coming from all over the world to this convention, because this is like the show. I want to go to a big American convention again, so sad. You should go to, oh yeah, it was Anthrocon. Lar got it. I think that's the big one, Anthrocon. So yeah, I mean, go big or go home. Tommy Comics, you should go if you can get at some point in your life. San Diego Comic Con, because it's freaking huge and it's like the Disney World of comics. Although I think France has the biggest in the world. And then the other one is Dragon Con is the Mardi Gras of conventions. So there's that too. At some point, you can go to them without having to pay $1,100 just for the plane tickets. Well, actually, if Obi and I both want to go, then yeah, we got to pay $1,100, and then getting the merchandise there usually costs me about $1,500 just to show up at a convention, and that's outside of hotel and food. Just for the shipping and the plane ticket is usually $1,500. So yeah, I've cut down the shows because I keep doing comics, and so now instead of a carload of comics, I've got 15 different books, and I bring 10 of each. That's 150 books. That's 150 pounds. So yeah, it sucks. So I went to Anthrocon, and a friend of mine also went with me, and she actually said I was concerned about the excessive huggers. She had a whole thing with touching. She was not comfortable with strangers touching her, and she said that that concerned her. But she pointed out that at Anthrocon there are plenty of other huggers, of excessive huggers, and they are with their own excessive huggers. So you're not. It was very comfortable. Everyone was really nice. Everyone was doing their own thing, and they had their own people to do their own thing with, and so they weren't foisting it upon you. And I was a little sad to notice. I don't remember what year. This was maybe 10 years ago. Oh God, this might have been 10 years ago. I was sad to realize that I noticed that there were same-sex couples who were holding hands. They weren't making out or anything, but there was affection being shown in public, and it was sad that stood out. That it made me realize that I had never seen that before, and the fact that even in the comics community, it's getting better now. They'll have it'll be more open at anime shows. It's sad that we haven't gotten to a point yet where same-sex couples are comfortable holding hands in public. I think we're getting better, but that was prevalent at Anthrocon, that it was such a safe environment, that you can, you weren't judged, they weren't going to be ridiculed, they were comfortable enough that they could show affection. And yeah, so that was my experience at Anthrocon. So I am into cuddles. Finding, and it's finding a person that you're comfortable with cuddles. It's frustrating when I was at another show that wasn't upfront about exactly how cuddly they were. I knew what I was getting into with Anthrocon. I was like, okay, I can deal with this. Whereas there was a show that didn't say that they were a cuddle show. And then I was like, wow, everyone's really physically affectionate. And it threw me off because I was not prepared for that. So yes, consent. Consent. I'm sure you can find other excessive cuddlers. Or just cuddlers. They're awesome too. Okay, textures. I've given him line work. Oh crap, I gave him long sleeves. Screw it, he's got long sleeves. Yeah, I want to do a show in Australia, but man, yeah, I can hear you about that plane ticket cost. It's a little painful. Save. Kind of levitating here in the background. Okay. Oh, missed a word balloon. So I'm going to finish this up. I still have to do a little bit of background spotting blacks. I've got these two templates. One is an arc and the other is a box, and I'll change the box around to make it dynamic angles, and I'll use those for some of the spotted blacks in the background. So I'm going to finish up this. I'm going to put a high resolution of this up on Patreon. There's a patron level where you get to have input on what's drawn each month. And I'm doing this once a month for the patrons. I've offered this for them, and so that's why I'm doing this. You guys are awesome and everything, but I'm pretty much sitting in a room by myself, talking to myself and oversharing and telling stories. But thank you for joining me. And let's see, DragonCon had a freaking superhero same-sex wedding. Well, yeah, it was DragonCon. I think they had a Klingon wedding at one point. Do you make the money back? I've been considering selling at an American con, but I'm afraid about not making my money back since I'm kind of unknown. Yeah, that's the thing. The first year that I did conventions, I was not breaking even. About the third year, I started paying for my table and my hotel room. You cover, you share hotel rooms, you carpool, you do what you can. You pack a lunch. It wasn't until it was a while before I started, and again, breaking even is, I mean, it's covering table, it's covering your expenses, but it's not. And then, since I quit my day job, I had to also take into account that I needed to have money to pay the electric bill at the end of the month. So it depends on the show. I mean, I did a lot of college conventions to subsidize that, because the college conventions, I'd sleep on somebody's couch, and I'd go to the grocery store to get lunch. So I've got this white box that I'm moving around, and I want to get this white box to intersect with a lot of spots for the background, so that I have this. Let's see, once I move it, I can show you guys. I want to have one line intersecting these two guys' heads, this background, have it kind of peeking up. Okay, I like that. So I have these two. So it's this, I've got this white box, and then I've got this arc. And I use the arc a lot. Obi I used to always use the arc in the background, and Obi said that I have to diversify. So let me delete this arc. I don't need it. It's on my template, so I never have to like remake it. I'm going to merge the black and the white, and I'm going to lock that so I don't mess with it. And then I'm going to go to this white layer that I have on top, and I'm going to delete the bits in the white layer to give it a kind of a shape in the background. Table to sell commissions. I could probably pay for it. It's the state tax stuff that always confuses me. I'm Canadian. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, Lars probably got some really good information about this. Thing, just me as a fan enjoying a new convention. Well, and also like anime shows, they're more likely to buy a little $1 thing, try something out for the first time. Or at least when I started out, that the anime kids were more willing to try something out that was new, as opposed to the comic guys. You know, the wizard shows, those guys have mortgages and children, and they have a budget for what they can buy, and they don't usually buy outside of their budget. I liked the college shows were a lower expense, but a lot of the college kids didn't necessarily have the money to spend. And then it's, what you're offering. If it's a button that the only way you can get the joke is if you read the comic, it'll be difficult to sell that button to people who haven't read the comic. And then having an easy, low-cost way to get into the comic, having a little $10 book or something that people can try out, or a $5 book, and then flyers so that they can get a sample of what the comic is, and get a sample of the humor, the idea. And then, overhead, you get into how much the books cost and how much the flyers cost. I'm holding off on restocking some stuff because I bought for Calgary, I buy, since I have a print-on-demand place, I buy for each individual show. And so I went to try to order for Calgary, and I've got $1,000 worth of books that I need to order, because Calgary does really well, but I have to drop $1,000 on the books, and then the shipping is like $400 because it's going to Canada. Which is ridiculous because it's Amazon, and they actually have a Create Space printer in Canada, so I don't know. Anyway, it's ridiculous. Don't even do well in local anime shows unless I'm allowed to sell the chocolates I make. Yes, you should totally do that. When a comic doesn't sell well, I have a friend who would sell knitted hats, and those would sell really well. Jasba recommended doing commissions on the spot to try and make the money back. Especially the anime shows, doing a chibi of people's characters, and the furry conventions as well, because a lot of the furries have a very specific character that they are, and so they ask artists to draw that character because they want a specific kind of creature. And so that I'm really bad at drawing things. And so I'm really bad at doing commissions because I'm like, I can draw the princess or the devil girl. But yeah, if you can do commissions quickly, reasonable price. Okay. So, yeah, do the local shows until you get your legs. You figured out your costs. I do really well at Calgary because I think that a lot of the people who want to try it out, Calgary is just awesome. The people who go there have brought a lot of money to spend. And then because I'm in the US, they know that it's going to cost a lot to pay for shipping. And so, dang, that's not gonna work. And so they end up buying a bunch of the books because they know that they don't want to ship it. So at any other show, I would get the, oh, well, you know, is it online? Oh, well, I'll just buy it online. I want to make these lines white. I think I've got this. Invert. Yeah, we had that awkward. Alright, let me see how this looks. I can use some lines on his head. Maybe the background. And then I have to go look up that gear and put it on his shirt. And this is going to be posted on the 23rd. Which I have no idea what day that is. I think I'm drawing Summer and Jim pretty much the same. That's not good. They're both blonde, but they're both very... He is very male and she is very female. Do you manage to both sell at a con and walk around enjoying the... Nope, not at all. You know, I haven't... What was it? Obi and I walked a show once. Oh, we got to go to Geek Girl Con and we walked the show for the first time in like... I think we walked MegaCon once and we walked Geek Girl Con, and that's... And I walked San Diego once. So I've walked a show 3 times in the past... How long have I been doing this? 14 years? So yeah, not, no. Unless you have, you know, you gotta learn how to sell. And then if you can get an assistant or somebody who can sell well, because that's a very different skill of being, you know, bouncy and not scaring people off and knowing how to pitch. And desperation makes for a very good teacher. I wouldn't bring money for food, and so I'd be like, oh, well, I think that my work sucks, but I want to eat, so I need to promote it to somebody and say, you want to buy this because it's awesome, because I want a sandwich. Okay, I think I'm done. It's been an hour and a half. So yes, I will be posting this on Patreon. And if you want to suggest something for next month, then you should be a patron. Didn't you ever feel like saying, screw it, let's just go to this con just to enjoy it? I do that for Dragon Con every year. I'm like, I really hope that I don't make I don't get a table, but I make so much money at Dragon Con because I've cultivated that convention. So yeah, Dragon Con, man, I would love, cause just the costume, I would love to walk around Dragon Con. I do a little bit at night, but sleeping, because the artist alley is open from 9 a.m. till I think about 6, and you don't leave unless you have somebody to watch your table. You don't close your table and just leave for lunch. That's not, no. Okay. Let's see, last minute questions. I'll do one more question and then I should probably let you guys go because some of you need to go to bed and or get work done. Oh nice, somebody's helping with adult acne because sits. Oh, it's so much fun to pick. Anyway, so I think that next month, let me see, I've got Emerald City coming up. That's not this weekend, but next weekend. Holy crap, that's coming up. Yep. And then I'm doing SakuraCon, which is in the same room the weekend after. And then Calgary, which is going to be awesome. So let's say I think we like Thursday. Do we want to say the 30th or the 23rd of April? When's Easter? That's on a Sunday. I don't have to worry about that. Ground Control on Wednesday on the 29th is free play. You just pay $5 to get in. Favorite dino or mammal? Dino is the Apatosaurus, the Thundersaurus, the Stegosaurus. Or mammal? Favorite mammal? Rottweiler? I like Rottweilers. A friend had one. It was really well behaved. Obi said, remember back when I didn't know how to moderate a YouTube? Those are the days. Is he moderating? I haven't seen him pop up very much. Crazy Owl did point out that I didn't go to the parade. Obi has insisted, okay, so all of my you don't leave your table. I leave my table for the parade because Obi insists that we have our special time. Watching the parade, not perverts. That we go and try to watch the parade. Because it's special time. Thanks, Jenny and Obi. You're far better at this than you give yourself credit. Laura, thank you for saying so. I'm glad you think so, man. What was it my sister said about playing pool? Most of it is just looking like you know what you're doing. Usually you don't. Same thing about giving directions. As long as you do it decisively, people will believe you. Aw, Obi said Jenny's my favorite mammal. I like him. I think I'll keep him. The judge said I could. I have a piece of paper that said I would. Okay, so I don't know if anybody, so the 23rd is my anniversary. I won't be around for that. Okay, so whoever has an opinion is not the 23rd. So cool, we'll do it the 30th. Be a patron after the wedding. Awesome, thank you, Dracat will be a patron. Hopefully, let me know if there's anything you want to see on Patreon, anything that you're frustrated with. It's hard getting feedback from the patrons. All right, so I think that we will do this again on the 30th. Mark down live stream at, we like 7 or 6? We like 6 East Coast, 9 East Coast, 6 West Coast. Directional senses. Alright, so I'll do that. Cool, excellent. Thank you guys. You were awesome. I will find the off button in a minute. You're amazing. Thank you for joining me. I putter. I do. Oh, that went very well. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. I don't feel like I rambled too much. I feel like I rambled enough. I only gave a couple of things away. I think I will be reprimanded for 1 or 2 things in a good way. And thank you for joining me, and you guys are awesome. Thank you.